Hi, today we're going to look at the parable of the sower. It's one of the Bible readings we had in the service, so I'm going to start by reading the Bible reading again. That very day, Jesus went out of his house and sat down beside the sea. Large crowds gathered around him, so he got into a boat and sat down. The whole crowd was standing on the shore. He had lots to say to them, and he said it all in stories. Listen, he said. Once there was a sower who went out to sow his seeds. As he sowed, some seed fell beside the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some seed fell on rocky soil, where it didn't have much earth. It sprang up at once because it didn't have depth of soil. But when the sun was high, it got scorched and withered because it didn't have any roots. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it. And other seed fell on the good soil. It produced crop, and some 100 times over, some 60, and some 30 times over. If you've got ears, then listen. So, now we're going to get up and sing a song, and you can join in with actions and things if you like. So, find a space, because it's quite a good song to dance to.
Went into his field. His fieldy, field. Planted some seeds. Some seedy, weedy seeds. Let's check out these seeds. How you doing, guys?
It sounds good. Living home.
Some seed fell upon hard soil. Hardy, hard soil. Some seed fell upon hard soil. Hardy, hard soil. They got trampled. They got trampled. They got trampled. And eaten by the birds of the air. Hey, what's up with you lot? You look terrible. Some seed fell upon thorny soil. Thorny soil. Some seed fell upon thorny soil. Thorny soil. They got suffocated. They got suffocated. There ain't no air anywhere. Oh dear. These wee guys are looking a bit seedy. Some seed fell upon rocky soil. Rocky soil. Fell upon rocky soil. Rocky soil. They got dehydrated. They got dehydrated. You get a load of this. That's what I call a seed.
Hey, I'm feeling real good.
Some seed fell upon good soil. Goody woody, good soil. Some seed fell upon good
Right then. So, there's in the story, there are lots of different types of seeds and different things happen to them. Jesus then goes on to explain the story a bit better. But while I'm reading that, I want you to think about which seeds you would like to be and what you might have in common with some of them. All right then, Jesus continued. This is what the sower story is all about. When someone hears the word of the kingdom and doesn't understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what's sown into their heart. This matches up to what was sown beside the path. What was sown on rocky ground is the person who hears the word immediately, receives it with delight, but doesn't have any roots of their own. Someone like that only lasts a short time, and as soon as there's any trouble because of the world, they trip up at once. The one sown among the thorns is the one who hears the word, but the world's worries and wealth choke the word, and it doesn't bear fruit. But the one sown on good soil is the one who hears the word and understands it. Someone like that will bear fruit, and one will produce 100 times over, another 60, and another 30 times over. So we've got lots of different types of seeds. I want you to have a think about which one you would like to be and which one you might be at the moment. What sort of things might be rocks in your life? Have a talk with the other people in your family about it. It might be your siblings watching this with you, or it might be your mum or your dad or someone like that. Have a talk and a think about what makes you struggle to listen to the Bible. So here I've got some seeds. Now I don't know if you can see very well, but seeds come in lots of different shapes and sizes. They don't all look the same. So if you can see, there's some big seeds, there's some smaller ones, there's greeny ones and browny ones. They're all different types and colours. There's even in here some teeny tiny ones that you can hardly see at all. There's some there. Can you see them? They're teeny tiny, but even the teeniest, tiniest seeds will grow into flowers and grow into plants that will bear fruit, and from that fruit we get lots of seeds, and then more plants will grow from those seeds. In fact, here I've got a strawberry which I picked out of our garden, and you can see on the strawberry all the different tiny seeds. So I've got another pot here with some soil in it. Now this is soil out of our garden, and I think it's quite good soil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant some of these seeds in it. In the story, in Jesus' time, they used to just throw the seeds on the top of the soil like this. But then in the story, birds come and eat those up. So to stop anything eating them up and to help the seeds grow a little bit, we poke them down and make sure that there's plenty of soil on top of them. I'm also going to put the strawberry in as well and see what happens if that grows. So I'm going to cover it with some soil, make a big hole for it because it's quite big, and see what happens. Tuck it all in. Yep, all the seeds are all in there, and there's soil on top, so you can only see soil. Now, to grow seeds properly, we need to look after them. And we also need to wait for a long time, because in the story, Jesus talks about the roots going down. And that's what happens first. You can't see that because it's under the soil. It takes a long time. So we're going to water it, and then we're going to wait. And sometimes we have to wait for a long time before the seeds grow. Sometimes it's days and days, or weeks and weeks, or months and months. We have to keep watering it and checking they're okay. They've got enough light, they've got enough water, and then eventually something might grow. That's sometimes a bit like people. When we're wanting people to do something, sometimes you have to wait for a long time, and then eventually they'll do it. Or it's like prayer. Sometimes we have to pray for a long time before something happens, and we have to wait. But just because we have to wait doesn't mean that it's not going to work. It could be that something is happening under the soil and the roots are growing. And then when the roots have grown, then something amazing can grow out. So that you can do some planting of your own, for some of you who I know where you live, I've put some pots and some seeds outside your houses, so you can go and have a look by your front door and see if you've got some there. If you've not, then you can message me on Facebook or email, or you could message the church Facebook and ask, and I can come and bring you some round. Or you could try planting something outside in your garden, or if you've got any seeds or pots at home that you could do with your mum and dad. And then when you've planted it, you've got to keep watering it and looking after it, making sure it's got lots of light and water. And in a few months, when we come back to church, you could bring it with you and we could have a look and see what people have grown and what plants have grown. Because there's also lots of plants been growing in the church and in the churchyard, and see how long some of the grass has grown. So that's our activity today. So you might need a grown-up to help you do some of it. And hopefully we can have grown lots of things, and when we come back to church, you'll be able to show us. You can also take photos of what you've done, and if you email them to church or share them on Facebook or send them to the church Facebook, then we can put them into the service video for next week, and then everybody can see what we've been doing, which would be really nice. So bye, see you later.